Today's First Alert afternoon weather update is brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.
Good Thursday afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here live for our Thursday afternoon First Alert weather live stream. I want to thank everyone for joining us as we take a look at our sort of change of season here for the next couple of days. We're starting to warm up, not so much today, but tomorrow, and then we'll have a snow chance as we head into our weekend, and temperatures drop back below average for both Saturday and Sunday. As always, if you have any questions or have any weather reports, head over to our Facebook chat at WNEM TV5 News. There I'll try to answer any of the questions that you may have. I do apologize if I miss your question as we're getting through the stream today. We're going to start off today looking outside. This is our Mount Pleasant camera there at Central Michigan University, showing cloudy skies but dry conditions. This has really been the theme of the day for much of mid-Michigan. Will continue to be the theme of the day as we get through the rest of our afternoon. I'm not going to count out the sun trying to peek through, but definitely more overcast skies. We look down to Flint, a very similar image there, just cloudy skies but dry conditions. And downtown Saginaw, it's also right around there with that cloud cover and dry conditions. And again, that will continue. There may be a few areas up into northern mid-Michigan that do catch a few stray showers. That's been in the forecast here over the last couple of days. There's this weaker system moving through northern Michigan into the Upper Peninsula, and that has continued to develop. The question has been, how far south does it develop right now? It is mostly to our north, but again, I'm not going to count out a few flakes falling in counties like Clare, Gladwin, Roscommon, or Ogama County as we get over the next couple of hours. Shouldn't see any accumulations, but definitely a quick, good snowfall into the rest of our afternoon and into tonight. When we look at our hour by hour, it isn't going to show us much. That's been the biggest thing, is our hour by hour has continued to push that snow chance to the north. I think the biggest thing for right now is going to be how much cloud cover do we see? Do we catch some clear skies at times as we get through tonight or into tomorrow morning? As we get into Friday on our hour by hour, it's just cloudy skies, trying to clear off as we head into the afternoon, and then clearing off as we get into Friday night, and then as we head into Saturday, it's going to be a mix of cloud cover and sunshine. The question for Saturday is going to be, where does that snow chance move itself in? There's been still a debate between the forecasting models about where exactly we're going to see that snow chance. You can see on this hour by hour, it's a little bit farther south, still reaching our southern counties of Shiawassee, Genesee, Lapeer, and even southern Sanilac counties late Saturday night. We're talking about 7 p.m. through about 10 p.m., but that's not the case on every forecasting model, because as we look at our sort of long-term forecasting hour by hour, what it shows you is that snow chance actually moving through the heart of mid-Michigan down into southern Michigan and moving in a little bit earlier. So this is now showing 4 to 5 p.m. with the most consistent snowfall right around 9 to 10 p.m. So that is what we're going to have to watch out for as we get through Saturday. It doesn't look to be the heaviest snowfall, but definitely enough that we could see some accumulations. I think a trace to 2 inches is really where we're sitting with this snow chance. So again, nothing extreme, but definitely enough you could see slick road conditions, slow down travel as we get through Saturday afternoon. I think the biggest question that's going to have to be watched for here over the next 24 hours is, where does that snowfall set up? Does it set up within the TV5 viewing area, or does it set up a little bit farther south, maybe even getting closer to the Indiana and Ohio borders, because some of the forecasting models do have that set up as we get into Saturday. I think by Sunday morning, all of the forecasting models have that snow chance moving out, and then we'll have another snow chance early Monday that we'll have to keep an eye out for. That has been trying to trend a little bit farther south, and then into Tuesday and Wednesday, there's also been some more snow chances trying to arrive, maybe even turning into rain chances as we get some warmer temperatures through mid next week. So that's just what we're eyeing here for the next couple of days. Let's get back to today. As we've entered the 2 o'clock hour, this is Thursday. Temperatures mostly sitting in the upper 20s. You do get a few 30s, especially out to the west. Mount Pleasant is reading 32, Alma at 30, and Owasso at 30. I will highlight, we've been seeing a trend where the Mount Pleasant sensor may be trending a little bit warmer than it actually is. If you're in Mount Pleasant and you have a temperature sensor out there, a thermometer, just send it our way. We would just want to see what you're reading, because again, that sensor out there, we've noticed here over the last couple of weeks, has maybe been trying to read just a little bit warmer. The National Weather Service has been alerted to that, so it sounds like they're going to have someone go out there to that Mount Pleasant sensor and just see what's going on there. But right now, still reading 30s and isn't much warmer than areas like Alma or Owasso, which are both into the lower 30s right now. And as we get through the rest of our afternoon into our evening, temperatures will start to drop. That will be right around 5 to 6 p.m. where we see those temperatures reaching the lower 30s and then the 20s as we get through tonight into tomorrow morning. Now, in terms of our wind right now in the 2 o'clock hour, it's mostly out of the south-southwest at 5 to 15 miles per hour. And I think that will continue through a majority of our afternoon. There are some wind gusts up to 20 miles per hour up north of the bay. That's really been the readings throughout much of our afternoon at 15 to 20 miles per hour. So if you live in those areas, I think West Branch east to the bay, into the lake, I think if you're in that area, don't be surprised if you do see wind gusts up to 20 miles per hour. I think for the rest of the region, you're going to be on the calmer side as we get through the rest of our Thursday. Wind does pick up for Friday, so be prepared for that. Looks like we'll be back up 25, 30 miles per hour for our Friday. I'll have updates on that here in just a second. But we'll take a look at our 3-day forecast just before we go to our break. We're 50s tomorrow. It is a warmer day, looking a lot nicer. Again, it is going to be breezy across mid-Michigan for our Friday. But with that stronger wind setting up, it pulls in some warmer air and it sets us back into the 50s. It doesn't last long though. We're back into the 30s and the 20s as we get through Saturday and Sunday, with that snow chance for Saturday afternoon / Saturday evening that we'll just continue to keep an eye on. But with that, I don't see any questions over in our chat. I do have to take a quick break. Once we come back from that break, we'll be taking a look at temperatures for the next couple of days, looking at your wind chances, your snow chances, the drought monitor that updates Thursday mornings, and maybe looking at some 10-day temperature trends as we do see some updates, maybe a little bit warmer of a start to the month of March. So you're going to want to stay right here. Welcome back, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here live for the second half of our First Alert Weather live stream. I want to thank everyone for joining me here on this cold but pretty nice Wednesday, or Thursday, I mean, jumping back there just a second, but Thursday. We'll start off this second half of our stream looking at our lows for tonight. We're going to be back into the 20s, a little bit warmer than we had last night. I think that continues to be the trend that we at least see for tonight into tomorrow. Like we mentioned before the break, we are seeing 50s for our highs for Friday. I think that starts tonight as we start to see our wind shift out of the south-southwest. That starts to bring in some warmer air from the south, and that helps us warm up as we get through at least tomorrow. And speaking of our highs for tomorrow, we do see that warm up. Lower 40s to the mid 40s up in our northern counties into northern Huron County and northern Sanilac County. But quickly as you move down to the south, you start to see those 50s appear from as far north as Gladwin. I think Standish is going to be very close tomorrow. I think Clare is going to be very close as well. But then by the time we get to the Bay, Bay City at 50, Midland 50, Saginaw 50, and then even getting a few lower 50s at 52 and 53 from areas like Flint and Owasso. I think if you live in Perry, Morris area, you could be getting maybe closer to 55 as we get through our Friday. So definitely a good change. I know a lot of people are going to enjoy that, especially into the afternoon as you're getting off of work. Temperatures do hold together a little bit better as we get into the afternoon. But like I mentioned before the break, it doesn't last long because we cool down again late Friday night into Saturday. Here's your highs for Saturday afternoon. It's mid-20s for our northern cities. West Branch at 25, East Tawas at 27, Port Hope at 27, Houghton Lake at 24. And just a gradual warm up as you move south. So 30 in Standish, 32 in Bay City, Saginaw and Midland, 31 in Mount Pleasant, and then getting to 35 in Flint, Lapeer, and Owasso. So those will be your areas. Average for this time of year right at 34 or 35. So we're not far from that average mark, but definitely some areas a little bit on the cooler side as you move to the north. And I did mention we're going to look at our 10-day temperature trend, because if you've been on social media, you're starting to hear some rumbles. Hey, we're looking to be a little bit warmer for the start of March. Again, that warm day for Friday, we cool off for Saturday and Sunday, but you're starting to see those trends, 30s and 40s as we get into mid next week, and even some 50s as we get into next weekend. There's even been some hints we may be getting closer to 60. I think we're far out for that to say for sure how warm we are going to get as we get into next weekend, but I think the trend of 40s and 50s is definitely on track as we get to the end of next week and into the weekend, as that we get to that sort of first full weekend of March. So that's a good sign. Again, there's been some trends that maybe through mid-March we're going to stay warmer than average. A reminder, average is staying in the mid to lower 30 or mid to upper 30s. So 45 is still above average. I know that's going to feel nice to some people, but I know we're getting to that time of year where people are starting to really want those 50s and 60s and 70s. So we'll get there eventually. Still got to get through some days here, especially this weekend on the colder side of things. Now let's look at our wind gusts. Like I mentioned, winds have stayed relatively calm today. They are going to start to pick up though. By Friday afternoon, our winds will be from the south at 15 to 25 miles per hour, with our strongest wind gust up to 25 in areas like Owasso, Flint, Lapeer, out to Sandusky. I think Saginaw is going to be in that area that could get up to 20 to 25 miles per hour as we get into Friday afternoon. But the one nice thing is because it is a south wind, it pulls in that warmer air, gets us back up into the 50s for our Friday, and then we just stay breezy for our Friday afternoon, picking up a little bit more into Friday evening. So this is 10 p.m. Friday, wind from the west-northwest at 20 to 35 miles per hour. So that's where we'll start to see that change in our temperatures as well. We start to get that north-northwest wind. That's what helps pull in some colder air and sets us back up into the 20s and 30s for our Friday. And then by Saturday morning, it is a northwest wind at 15 to 25, but does look to calm down as we get into Saturday afternoon and then Saturday evening. This is 10 p.m. on Saturday, that north wind at 10 to 20. So some good relief there if you're someone that doesn't like the strong wind days that maybe we've been seeing here on and off through the end of winter and the start of spring. Now let's take a look at your hour by hour once again. I did want to look at this just to show off what we're seeing over the next couple of days. Again, you may see some lighter snow up to the north, or hour by hour here is showing that it misses us. I'm not going to count out that snow reaching as far south as Ogama, Roscommon, Gladwin, and Clare counties here over the next couple of hours. As we get through the night, that snow chance should move out. We'll be dry for most, if not all of our Friday, just looking at a mix of cloud cover and sunshine on and off throughout our Friday. And then as we get into Saturday, it looks to be another day where we start off on the drier side, but there is that snow chance that has continued to show up. Now, like I mentioned at the start of the stream, there is still a lot of debate on the forecasting models about exactly where we're going to see the setup of that snow chance, because in the timing, I think, too, has been some debate there. So as you can see on our sort of shorter term hour by hour here, it has that snow chance moving in around 6 p.m. It's mostly to our southern counties of Shiawassee, Genesee, and Lapeer. So we'll see how this sets up. But there's other models like the European model that I'm going to show you right now that does show that that snow chance is moving into the heart of mid-Michigan. I don't think it's going to be the heaviest snow, so if you do have plans for Saturday afternoon / Saturday evening, don't cancel them. It's going to be light at times. I think at most we see a trace to 2 inches with this, so nothing too horrible, but enough that you could see some slowdowns on roads. Definitely could see some quick slushy conditions as temperatures are below freezing in some areas through our Saturday evening. But as you can see, this is at 10 p.m. on Saturday. That snow chance still hanging around, especially towards our southern counties into southern Michigan, Lansing, Jackson, Detroit for the day, moving out as we move through Saturday night into Sunday morning. And then there may be another snow chance / rain chance I'll highlight that we'll have to keep an eye out for Tuesday. This has started to show up on a few of the forecasting models. This is obviously if you have any family members in areas like Illinois, Iowa, Ohio, Indiana. This is a system they've been keeping an eye out on because it has been showing up to give them some rain and snow. And obviously you start to get that set up down south. You may even see some severe weather for that. For us though, it's going to be how do we set up that snow, rain, maybe even ice mix as we get into Tuesday morning. We'll have more updates from the TV5 First Alert weather team as we get through our weekend, and we'll have a better idea as we get through the weekend how that system wants to set up as we get through Monday night, Tuesday morning, and Tuesday afternoon. Now going back to our Saturday system, again, a trace to 2 inches is what we're sitting at, and even this has shifted south a little bit in the latest update. So if you're someone that's looking to avoid the snow, hopefully that's the update we do continue to get. But I think a trace to 2 inches is a good spot for us as we get through Saturday night into our Sunday. Now it is Thursday. I did want to take a look at our drought monitor just to show how that updated here over the last, at least through the last couple of days, as it does get updated on Thursday mornings. There really hasn't been much change. Southern TV5 viewing area, and that is into Shiawassee, Genesee, Lapeer counties, has continued to show no drought conditions. As you move to the north, that includes northern Saginaw counties, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, into Gratiot and Isabella counties, Clare, Gladwin. That's where you're holding that abnormally dry condition. And then just continuing to see around the bay, now north of the bay, into Aranac County and Iosco counties, showing that moderate drought may be building a little bit. That severe drought has continued to hold in western Huron County. Hasn't changed very much over the last couple of updates, and hopefully we can start to get some moisture here over the next couple of weeks that will help fight off that severe drought as we get into the spring and into the summer. So hopefully we don't get into what we had last fall, where we had that severe drought starting to build in some areas. But for now, the drought monitor has continued to hold on to that severe drought in western Huron County. I don't see any questions over in our chat, so with that, I am going to just quickly take a look at our 7-day forecast. Again, 50s for our Friday, but it doesn't last long. We're back into the 30s and the 20s for our weekend with that snow chance on Saturday. We're going to stay in the 20s on Monday with dry conditions before we start to see warmer temperatures back into the 30s on Tuesday and the 40s on Wednesday. There just may be a few systems we'll have to keep an eye out on, bringing us maybe some snow, then rain chances Tuesday. And I think there has been some signals late Wednesday. There may be another system that moves in, but that is pretty far out there. Things will definitely change between now and then. But I want to thank everyone for joining me here on this Thursday. As always, make sure you check out our website at WNEM.com. You can head over to the weather tab where the TV5 First Alert weather team does have more updates on the weather. You can download our TV5 First Alert weather app by scanning that QR code right below me or heading over to the Google Play or App Stores. And as always, you can check out our newscast this afternoon at 4, 5, 5:30, and 6 for more weather updates and news updates from the TV5 news and weather teams. You can also check out our evening live stream at 9 p.m. where TV5 Chief Meteorologist Chris Easlick will have updates on the weather. But with that, we are going to end the stream here. Hopefully you have a wonderful rest of your Thursday. You can enjoy the warmer weather that we have for our Friday, and then you can stay dry for your Saturday.
Thank you for joining us. Today's stream has been brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.